hole were only playing with 11 and they took an absolute nail-biter of a win. It's roller derby. Anything can happen. And right now we have derby about to get underway. And that is number 7, Jenkill, on the line for Riot City Ravens. Jenkill also a Team Wales player, so she's no stranger to nerves.
So we're expecting some world-class roller derby from the Riot City then.
As always. And who have we got on there for Cambridge?
So they're Baps. That would be, what's the full name then? Donna K. Baps.
And off we go. We can see Baps pushing at the front of the pack. Lovely little twirly spin, but immediately picking up a forearms penalty sitting in the box. So not even 30 seconds in, we have our first power jam, and we have Jenkill with the lead now for Riot City Ravens.
And a Riot City blocker has joined Jenkill, has joined Baps in the box.
Jenkill now on a scoring pass, looking up for her offense as Cambridge holding strong and a nice tripod, some flying offense coming in from her pivot, and she makes it through for a 5-point pass.
Black Jammer is back on track now, just behind, has removed the helmet cover, perhaps hoping for the star pass.
And you can see Jenkill coming in, trying to get around the outside edge. Baps in the meantime through the in.
Replacing the helmet cover, the penalty box is emptied now, and calling the jam as they fall to the floor is Jenkill.
So first points of the game on the board for Riot City Ravens. Cambridge Rollerbillies still at 0.
New jammers in this jam. We have Lisp for Cambridge and Tattooed Terror skating for Riot City.
Oh, I actually think that is that Tattooed Terror? Yes, sorry, you're right. I couldn't read the numbers there for a second. And it is Cambridge picking up the lead this time round. Tattooed Terror forced to reset in turn 4. And some lovely fluid wall work there going on from Cambridge. Terror just not able to get through. They are backing up on her each time.
Direction of gameplay sending a Cambridge skater to the penalty box there. Little sit down, little breather.
And in the meantime, Lisp coming round with a big smile on her face on a scoring pass. Sees the outside edge, threads through the middle and picks up 4 more points.
We have both pivots in the penalty box as the jam is called, so they will start the next jam in the penalty box, both seated.
However, we do now have points on the board for Cambridge Rollerbillies, and unbelievably, after only 2 jams, we have a tied score.
How exciting! Are you excited?
I'm thrilled with excitement. If I wasn't standing up, I'd be dancing. Oh wait, no, I could dance. I'm going to save my energy.
Yeah, we've got a long day, a lot of talking to get through. We should really focus our energy where it counts. So 240, that's Electrocute jamming for Cambridge.
And that is 6-4 Squid Vicious for Riot City Ravens. And we've not yet made it to the pivot line. Another Riot City blocker headed to the penalty box. In the meantime, Squid Vicious being forced to reset.
And its lead jammer is declared for Electrocute. About half a lap ahead of the Riot City jammer, Squid Vicious.
Yeah, Squid Vicious on the initial Electrocute with some lovely aggressive pushing through the pack. Gets through, calls it off for 4, holding Riot City scoreless.
Clever jamming there, making sure, get the points, call the jam off if you can, prevent any more points from being scored against you.
It is quite clever when you get the points, isn't it?
It must be quite satisfying.
In a competitive game, points are important, I hear.
I've heard they win prizes, but I've never seen these prizes in roller derby, so I'm not convinced.
Well, the prize today will be a chance to advance to promotion in the tier. So each team really gunning it nice and early on a Saturday morning. We have Baps once again, this time picking up the lead for Cambridge. And Jenkill working her way around with some lovely footwork. Such a smooth skater.
Oh, but interesting. Something interesting has happened. Baps has been sent to the penalty box, leaving Jenkill as the only jammer on track.
And Jenkill will, I predict, kill this jam. She is a very controlled and calm skater. And now her pack setting up to cause some disruption to Cambridge Wall. But a little bit slowed in turn 2.
It's almost as if Cambridge don't want to let her get lots of points.
I mean,
it's like they've got an agenda going on here to impede as much as possible. She's trying to call it.
Oh, she's got a big smile on her face. She's remembered she's not lead. And now we have Baps back in play. But of course, this is well,
no one can call the jam.
No one can call the jam. So we've got 2 minutes going on right now. Baps makes it through for 4. And Jenkill taking the start off ahead. Nice, smooth star pass there to her pivot. That's 5-0-5 Major Pain. Baps comes through, gives herself a wee round of applause, and for her blockers as well.
It's nice to see them enjoying themselves and really getting into the spirit of things.
I mean, if you're not going to enjoy yourselves while skating around on 8 wheels and getting battered, I mean, then why get here? Major Pain doing a great job getting a scoring pass in there. Baps coming up against Jenkill, who is now, of course, blocking for Riot City. Forces the multiplayer call and picks up 4 more points.
And the jam comes to its natural 2-minute conclusion. Last few points being dropped off.
So now we have Jenkill sitting in the box as a blocker. So, I mean, she's a very skilled blocker, but obviously Riot City not able to put out their usual blocking formation. But my goodness, look at the score, Mimey. We've got a 1-point game.
That's a bit exciting. 25-24, with Cambridge just nudging ahead there.
And so now we have Tattoo Terror with the start for Riot City. And she is up against... I can't even see, she's moving so fast, but she has picked up leads.
Faster than the speed of light.
That's Lisp.
Okay, that's the second time those two have gone out against each other.
Oh, and we have Tattoo Terror off to the penalty box. So Cambridge on a power jam now.
I believe Lisp got lead last time as well, so I hope there's no mind games going on here, that Tattoo Terror seeing this formidable Lisp, who is just scoring point after point, racing through the pack.
Yes, nice truck offense set up there by Cambridge. There you can see it again on the inside line.
Tattoo Terror standing in the box, so less than 10 seconds to go.
Nice edge out there by Melanie Pitstop, but no pass, no penalty means Lisp can hop right back on track to pick up those 5 points.
The helmet cover has been taken off by Tattoo Terror. Will it be a stash? Will it be a pass?
Lisp now coming up against Riot City in turn 3. Some great reforming and fluidity going on there, but she shakes them off.
That's another 5 points there for Cambridge.
And Melanie Pitstop, the pivot, you can see trying to get back to Tattoo Terror at this point, but just not able to find the space. In the meantime, Lisp doing her laps. This is a huge jam for Cambridge, the biggest jam of the game so far.
Currently on 50-25, so they've got double the points. They've gone from being 1 point ahead to being 25 points ahead in just a blink of an eye.
And Jenkill going off to the box again for blocking out of play. Lisp running this jam for all it's worth, coming into the pack with a smile and a little spin around. Melanie Pitstop now with the star for Riot City, but not even able to get it on her head before the jam comes to a conclusion. And
wow.
That was...
Did you see those points? Did you see them?
Well, we're going to just wait for the scoreboard to be updated.
Make sure everything is accurate and correct.
That was, by the looks of the scoreboard on track, a 35-point jam.
Well, that's the biggest jam score we've seen on this track today.
Yep, I mean, that is pretty good work there by Cambridge. And now we have Ankle Biter, also an announcer by trade, so it's really nice to see them out on track as a jammer. And they are up against Squid Vicious for Riot City. Ankle Biter ducking and diving round the out with a huge smile on their face.
We have the last Riot City blocker leaving the penalty box, so that is now empty. We have everybody on track.
And Riot City's pivot headed to the box. That's Angel Gabriel. So Squid Vicious not going to be able to look for help in that area.
Ankerbiter scoring another 5 points there as they skate back round to start another scoring pass. It's never over.
Oh,
for these
and
spaces.
just smooth as you like through that inside line, not even needing to touch a blocker.
It could have been empty, couldn't it? Just so easy, making it look simple.
And Squid Vicious tried to follow that same path, taking a leap on the apex, but actually took out one of her own blockers, Jen Kill. So Jam whistled there for injury, I think.
Wonderful paramedics there, walking calmly and with focus to the Riot City corner, just to check that everything is hunky-dory.
And on your screen, you can actually see Melanie Pitstop lining up now, wearing the star for the first time for Riot City. And she is up against Baps for Cambridge.
Oh. And you know what? Baps is lead jammer.
Yeah, and really working the space on the track there to her advantage. Now on his scoring pass.
This is now the 6th lead jam in a row that Cambridge have been awarded. So really dominating this part of the game here.
Yeah, and you can tell by the scoreboard as well at the moment. 70 plays 25 currently in Cambridge's favour, with only 12 minutes gone in this first half.
They really are racking up the points, taking control and being quite clever with it. They're not conceding very much.
And Melanie Pitstop passed off the star there, but it looks like an out of play penalty issued to the pivot who received it, Angel Gabriel. So she's now thrown the star back on track. Melanie Pitstop has put it back on her head, and now she is once again the active jammer.
And Baps is released from the penalty box. Back on track, fighting through the package. One more blocker to go. Past that blocker, and it's time for more points.
Some gorgeous lateral blocking going on with Cambridge right now. Dangerous with the drawback on Melanie Pitstop. And Baps coming round. Oh, just lovely space there on the outside for Baps to go through. Makes it look so easy. Yeah. And that's 5 more points on the board for Cambridge.
Dangerous just making it impossible for Riot City. Just dragging the jammer further and further back and really being quite intimidating with the attention to jammer detail there. And
Dangerous is a fantastic jammer in her own right as well, so she knows where the jammer is going to want to go.
She knows exactly how to mess her up.
Exactly. Oh, there's nothing like a blocker with jammer experience for some tactical play. Melanie Pitstop really struggling right now. Baps on another huge jam as it comes to an end. The score now at 94 for Cambridge, and it seemed like just a few minutes ago that we were at a 1-2 point game.
Is it like 30 minutes in or something? We're at 94 points now.
Time has happened.
Yeah, I've seen bigger point differentials overcome and the lead change, but this does seem like Riot City are going to have to do a lot to really pull together, making sure that the blocking is a lot more communication, perhaps, a lot more coherence on the track to hold those jammers. But with their great skills, it's hard.
There was a moment in that last jam when Baps was just able to go through the wall without touching them because they had their arms up, so they knew they were avoiding the multiplayers. But yeah, they need to, Riot City, if they're going to challenge Cambridge's role, need to just, as you say, kind of stick together a little bit more on track. We are in a team timeout, so we would like to give a big thank you to our sponsors for this weekend. Roller Derby City is sponsoring the other track this weekend, and Just One Body, who are fantastic osteopaths, are sponsoring the track that you are watching right now. Double Threat Skates are also here, not sponsoring anything in particular. They're not sponsoring a track, but it's
nice to have them here, isn't it? Always nice. I think we saw Gaz down there earlier.
And we also have Radar, the MVP sponsor, who is sponsoring our jam lines this weekend. Thank you so much to all our fantastic sponsors for helping us put on British Championships 2018 promotional playoffs.
So it seems like Riot City are working together to provide a lot more of an impediment there. Lisp, it took quite a few seconds to get through and be declared lead jammer, but coming up behind is our jammer from Riot City, number 7.
That's Jen Kill.
It is Jen Kill.
And Jen Kill attempts to just get her hips around the outside, but it looks like...
Did she get anything? Did she? Did she?
There's another lead for Cambridge, making that 7 consecutive leads. Can Riot City pull this back?
It was very interesting in the last game where we saw that Newcastle were really dominating in the lead, but the score never really crept that far apart.
Yeah.
In this game, same sort of phenomenon, but massive point difference only a few minutes in.
Electrocute takes a bit of a sliding run into Riot City's wall, but pops right back up. Tattoo Terror struggling a little bit behind the pivot line, but bouncing around on those toe stops. Electrocute in the meantime with the lead for the Cambridge Rollerbillies.
Yeah, Riot City did get 1 point in the last jam, so you know
all is not
it
lost.
Takes is a load of 1 points, and you've eaten it back.
Well, not if Electrocute has anything to say about it. She picks up 5 points. Tattoo Terror has removed the star, not to the infield by Dangerous, but yet to make it past that pivot line.
We have Electrocute making it look easy getting through on the inside line there, as if there's no one else there.
And she has broken the century for Cambridge in this jam, 107 now to Riot City's 26. Riot City now catching her for a second at the back, but just sees that inside smoothly through for 5. Tattoo Terror finally out of the pack for Riot City with some fantastic tenacity.
Yeah, do feel for the jammer who keeps going, and she's got some points there, I think.
Yeah, nice eyes there from Tattoo Terror, just keeping going to the last minute to get her hips round, and does put 1 more point on the board.
Well done, Riot City.
Hey, do you know what? When you're bleeding points, 1 point can seem like 10.
Absolutely. I always feel for the underdog. I obviously impartial as to who wins. The referee in me has never died, but it's nice to see the underdogs clawing their way back.
I just like roller derby, and I like people who enjoy it. And speaking of people who enjoy roller derby, there goes Baps, big grin on her face, sending a Riot City blocker to the box already. 1 to beat at the front, goes, do you know what? I'll have that. Picks up lead. And Jenkill has removed the star very quickly for Riot City. Nice, slick star pass there to Angel Gabriel. It's a legal one this time.
We much prefer the legal ones, but Angel Gabriel doesn't have the chance to do anything with the jammer position as the jam is ended, as Baps calls it. Not risking any points being conceded.
If you are watching the stream at home and you wish to put your opinions out into the internet, into the world, you can use the hashtag BritChamps to tell us your opinions. Talk about the teams you're supporting, talk about how amazing your stream announcers are, talk about the people who are sponsoring the tracks. That's Just One Body and Roller Derby City.
Your favourite sandwich. We're always willing to hear gossip. And it's lead jammer to Lisp once again. So how many times now? Is that 9 times we've had them lead jammer? 9 consecutive lead jams there for Cambridge.
And it's another power jam for Cambridge now as Melanie Pitstop picks up a cut track penalty on the infield and takes a seat in the penalty box.
How frustrating that must be. It's the second power jam now for Cambridge.
Not that they need it at the moment, but we saw some great power jam kills earlier on today, so maybe Riot City will be able to show off their block in here. Well, not if Lisp's team has got anything to say about it. They just squeeze in either side to let her pass.
Melanie Pitstock back on track is challenging the Cambridge blockers at the back of the pack, but they are, nope, we're not moving. Try and come through us. You're not getting there.
Lisp coming on another scoring pass and just making that outside line so well, but is edged out by 808 Morganator and drawn back into turn 2.
So Screw Loose taking a seat in the box for a cutting penalty, I believe there.
Lisp winning the prize for the smiliest jammer at the moment. No matter what she's doing, she's got this big grin on her face. And no wonder as she picks up another 5, making this a 25-point jam so far.
These are huge, huge jams, aren't they?
Melanie Pitstop has passed the star now to 505. That's Major Payne once again.
And straight away we see Cambridge are just reforming those walls, reforming those tripods, getting ready. They know what's coming and they know what they're going to do about it. And they're doing it quite successfully.
And you know what? Cambridge obviously going for the merciless win here. You know, they're not having to play tactically at the moment to conserve points. They're just now, they've got such a comfortable lead. They're just going, you know what, we're going to run these jams as long as possible. We're going to try to pick up the biggest differential.
Tire out the opposition and score bigly. I believe that is a word these days.
Looks like that was another 35-point jam. I mean, my eyesight is just about good enough to see the board from here. So Cambridge
is not.
absolutely storming at the moment. Ankle biter with the star for the second time for Cambridge. And that is Squid Vicious. Oh, just so close, but ankle biter out in front. And Squid Vicious on her way to the penalty box on a cut track penalty. Another power jam for Cambridge.
I believe that would be their third power jam now.
Yeah, ankle biter ducking and diving around the outside once again.
Just making it just slightly easier for Cambridge to rack up those points. But as you said before, they really are not needing that extra help.
Yeah, ankle biter, they are just so smart with their footwork, looking and communicating there with their offense, tiptoeing round. Sees that inside, threads to the out. Oh, what a hit there from number 6-4.
No pass, no penalty, so ankle biter just goes straight back on.
And Squid Vicious re-entering play there behind ankle biter, who slows down a wee bit.
Another scoring pass.
Nice offense coming in from number 49 of Cambridge, Pepe Nefri.
Ankle biter taking a lot of hits there, but bouncing straight back up.
Yeah, Tattoo Terror also struggling to get past that Cambridge wall right now, but keeping going.
Is that another 5 points for Cambridge?
It is, it's another
No,
4 points.
Okay.
And there we go. Tattoo Terror out of the pack on the initial after over a minute and a half of play. Ankle biter ducks through for 4 more, calls off the jam.
Just as Tattoo Terror was arriving at the back of the pack, hoping maybe for 1 point, something. No, denied.
And we were chatting earlier about the mental side of this game with all the pressure, and even we've got 9 minutes left in the first half. Riot City at this point probably know that it will take a lot to pull off a win or an upset.
Not impossible, but
it is possible. It is roller derby, but the mental strength it takes to go out on track when you're 150-ish. See, mental strength. And if anyone knows anything about mental confidence, it is Jen Kill, who is on a much-needed lead jammer status for Riot City. Oh, that gorgeous footwork.
5 in the sky for Riot City as Baps sneaks out of the pack and is chasing Riot City down.
And I think that's probably the biggest score that Riot City have put up in a jam for quite some time. We'll have to see.
A little bit of offense there from the Riot City blockers, just the odd nudge here and there, making it a little bit easier for Jenkil to get through the pack. And just as the Cambridge jammer was coming up on the second scoring pass, jam is called.
And Riot City, credit to them with that mental strength, outscoring Riot City 8-4 in that last jam. Score now sitting 174-35 with just under 8 minutes to go in the first half. The first time that they've scored in 10 jams, in 3 jams, or a miss.
Making it sound much worse than it is. Just 3, that's fine. Number 1928, Lisp, is your lead jammer in this jam. Fighting through the pack. A little bit of an impediment there, but just shrugging off blockers to the left and to the right. Back on the first scoring pass now, and working to get those points, but getting those points.
And that is Tattoo Terror out of the pack on the initial. So Riot City starting to amp up the pressure a little bit more on Cambridge, chasing them out of the pack.
We're definitely seeing more of their personality on track and more of the determination, both as forming good defensive positions and with the Jammers just looking a little bit hungrier maybe.
Yeah, I think they've settled in a little bit now, but Cambridge have run away with that score. I'm just having a quick look at the penalty board. Riot City in a little bit more trouble. Angel Gabriel, who's been a pretty active pivot, is sitting on 5 penalties already.
And how many minutes are there?
Well, not even the first half gone. Baps from Cambridge is on 3, but nobody else on Cambridge on more than 1. A few people from Riot City on 2 or 1. But Cambridge in control of the penalty board as well as the score.
Electrocute was your lead jammer, got through on 1 scoring pass, and just as Melanie Pitstop was about to pass the first Cambridge blocker, she called the jam. Clever.
Pesky.
If kind of dispiriting, it's like, oh, it was so close. Sigh.
So once again, if you're just joining us, although we are 5 and a bit minutes, just under 6 minutes, sorry, away from ending the first half, but you're joining us on the Just One Body track here at British Championships 2018 promotional playoffs, and we are very glad that you're joining us on the stream. Do tell your friends. Jammers of the moment, we've got Jenkill and Baps, who has just picked up lead for Cambridge. Jenkill with 1 to beat, does so with some nice hip work round that single blocker. About a quarter of a track behind Baps.
I was going to say about a third, but, let's not quibble.
Baps comes in hot, but doesn't pick up any points, so a pointless jam.
There's no such thing. There may have been no points awarded, but it wasn't pointless, as everybody had a lovely time.
That's the first time that Cambridge haven't scored anything in 14 jams. So,
wow.
Again, with that tenacity of the jammers, with the chase down, starting to put the pressure on the lead to call it off, that could be a tactic that will help Riot City pick up or conserve that differential.
Once again, through on the inside line there, we have
Lisp.
I just want to lisp the name. It's probably not appropriate. I'll shush.
Oh, but well, just as I was saying that Riot City may be able to gain some more, we are on a power jam for Lisp and Cambridge Rollerbillies, with Tattoo Terror taking a seat in the penalty box. That is for her 3rd cut track penalty.
You can't afford to commit those penalties as a jammer.
The tape is not her friend today.
Yes, Lisp requiring a little bit of offense there from teammates, as Riot City are certainly getting together more, communicating more, and just providing more of a tripod to impede.
Tattoo Terror now re-entering play, and Riot City holding for a second there at the front, but Lisp just again grinning, breaks them apart and picks up another 4 points.
Another scoring pass. We saw Melanie Pitstop just putting a blocker onto their behind there.
As you do.
I don't, but as they do. And another scoring pass here for Cambridge. We've gone over the 200-point mark now. Currently 203 to 35 points.
Lisp with a full 5-point scoring pass there. Tattoo Terror hasn't been able to make it through the pack just yet. Sees the outside, but dangerous. And her teammates, I'm just trying to find her name. Kamihaha. Doing some nice reforming. And then Lisp just twirls around, calls the jam nice and casual. Another huge jam there for Cambridge. 29 points.
All right, jamming in the next jam, it looks like it will be Ankle Biter for Cambridge.
And that is 505 for Riot City. That's Major Payne. This is Major Payne's first time starting with the star. They have received, I believe, 2 star passes as a pivot. But sometimes that's a tactic teams use, particularly if they are down by quite a significant amount. They'll throw a new jammer out there to maybe mix it up, change the momentum a little bit. Ankle Biter not the slightest bit bothered by this change of affairs. On a lead now and on their first scoring pass for Cambridge Rollerbillies.
5 points for Ankle Biter. And as you say, major pain there. The back of the pack struggling to get through.
And beautiful little duck there on the outside by Ankle Biter. They are so slick and quick on those lines. Oh, the turning toe stop work there from Ankle Biter. Just, they've got a big grin on their face as they're going off to the penalty box, because they're like, do you know what? Yes, it's a cut track, but I looked so cool.
Yes, they did. We saw the cut track signal go up from the Riot City bench significantly before the referees. It's weird how they
and now we've got Major Pain on a power jam for Riot City, a much needed one. And they are pushing through the front, and they do pick up 5 points there. And that's Riot City's first time scoring in 4 jams.
182 points they need to catch up.
Hey, stranger things have happened. Ankle Biter just hopping over.
Ooh.
And the jam is whistled there for
Seemed like everybody went
injury.
Down. Yeah. Paramedics hurrying this time. Checking in on Major Pain, seeing that they're okay.
And although people at home may not be able to discern this, because we've got 2 tracks in here, sometimes it takes a minute for people to realise what's going on because of the noise and the whistles and so on coming from both ends. It was a good few seconds there before the jam was called off.
They are using different whistles on each track, and they've been very strict about which track has which whistle, but still a little confusing if you're not paying attention.
We've started off now again, and with Riot City start to get a pack disadvantage. Baps is able to pick up lead nice and quick. Jenkill also, however, out of the pack as Baps completes their first scoring pass and calls the jam.
Would that be the end of the first period?
And with that, unbelievably, we are in half time. The score sits at 230 to the Cambridge Rollerbillies and 40 to Riot City Ravens.
Of 190 points.
That's good math.
Wow.
So we're going to take a short intermission. Be back here in 14 minutes or so to see this second half play out on the Just One Body track here at the British Championship 2018 Promotion Playoffs. And welcome back to the Just One Body track here at the British Championships 2018 Promotional Playoffs. Say that 10 times really fast. So we are watching Cambridge Rollerbillies face off against Riot City Ravens, and at the moment Cambridge are dominating. The score at the end of the first half is 230 to 40 in Cambridge's favour. We're just going to bring you some statistics from the first half, particularly if you're just joining us. Thank you to the lovely Beatrix for picking those up for us. Mimey, do you want to talk through Cambridge, who are having a storming game?
They are. They're really dominating here. And the most prolific jammer there, as you couldn't have failed to notice, was Lisp, who has scored 116 of those 230 points.
That is just over half of the points.
It's a lot, yes. We've got Ankle Biter with 40, nothing to be ashamed of there, and Baps, very powerful jammer there with 48. And even we've got Electrocute with another 26 there. They all add up, they all help.
It is obviously quite a different story on the side of Riot City Ravens, who have just been rattled by what has been some really fierce jamming and also some incredible just defence by Cambridge. But the real one to watch jammers-wise is at the moment Jenkill for Riot City, who has scored 34 of Riot City's 40 points. And power jams wise, Cambridge has had 4 power jams in their favour. Riot City have had 3, but clearly Riot City not able to capitalise as effectively. So we'll see what happens in the second half. Riot City might have had a bit of a chat over half time. Things can change. But let's see how we go with Jenkill and Baps lining up.
Babs is the Cambridge skater with the most penalties at the moment, with an astonishing 3.
Well,
which is a lot for a jammer, and you want to be really careful, but it's not too bad, really.
in the meantime, Riot's Angel Gabriel pivot is sitting on 5, and Tattoo Terror, an active jammer, sitting on 3. But we'll bring you some more updates on penalties if necessary. Baps with leads now in the first jam of this second half. Nice hit out there by Major Payne to force the reset. However, Jenkill has not made it out on the initial yet. And Cambridge's fluid wall, just characteristic of how they've managed to shut down these Riot City jammers, is still holding Jenkill back as they go into turn 2.
We have a braced wall of 2 at the back there that was just demolished as Baps came up. The Riot City, they know what they want to do, they know how to do it, but it's being thwarted by Cambridge.
And Melanie Pitstop has now received the star for Riot City and is the active jammer.
She's done some interesting blocking, stomping her feet in front of people and saying, "You shall not pass," but Babs has got through. Babs has scored the jam. It's 240, plays 40. Can you do the math on that?
200-point differential. I thought you were asking me a really difficult question, and I froze a minute. I felt like being back in school. I was like, oh, I don't know. Oh wait, it's actually
200. It was really
it's
easy.
really simple.
Sorry
math.
for making you feel bad.
Math terrifies me, as much as I like statistics. Now we have Lisp facing off against Tattooed Terror.
Lisp has got lead jammer every time that they have been jammer.
Oh, that's a nice clean statistic, isn't it?
Let's make that 7 out of 7. So best lead jammer to times jamming ratio there. Meanwhile,
and such a shame. That's Tattoo Terror's on a cut track. That is her 4th penalty, and it's her 4th cut track penalty.
How frustrating. It does often seem that it's like you start doing it and it just keeps happening to you and you can't stop. Very, very frustrating.
Yeah. But what we've seen as well, the Cambridge jammers in particular are very aware of the lines on track, and they're working the middle quite a lot.
Some really clever blocking from Melanie Pitstop. She is watching everything. She's getting herself everywhere. We have what looks like a choo-choo train of Cambridge that just, they decide when they're going to move, they move as one, and they just make life slightly simpler for the jammer. Yeah,
beautiful clearance at the inside line there. That's dangerous smacktivist in the Cambridge wall there.
Good communication. It seems like Melanie Pitstop is the one saying, you know what, be here now.
And Tattoo Terror just edged out there by Jamilton.
Yeah, Melanie Pitstop again, just trying to see how she can be useful to the jammer.
Dangerous heading off to the penalty box on a forearm there. Tattoo Terror resetting in turn 4.
Only 3 powerful Cambridge blockers to get past now.
Yeah, that's fine.
Piece of cake.
But Riot City doing a nice job reforming here. They have locked into full defensive mode, all 4 of them there.
Really containing Lisp, just swarming.
And to be honest, at this point in the game, that's probably what's going to make the difference for Riot City, is going into that discussion about what can we do with our walls right now. Because it's clear that the Cambridge jammers are very adept at picking off 2 walls, single blockers.
Yeah.
It's going back to that classic get with your buddy derby, sit on the jammer, and, you know, sadly for your jammer, maybe leave them to fend for themselves a little bit.
Yeah, I think it can be quite a lonely life as a jammer, I would imagine.
Hey, credit to the blockers who have done a fantastic job this game. Oh, Jenkill on the out picks up a lead for Riot City. I got very excited there because look how happy Jenkill is to have leads.
And at the same time, the Cambridge jammer, that would be Electrocute, is being completely contained. That was a natural power jam.
And
a natural Grand Slam, sorry.
Jenkill just so happy to be jamming, to be scoring points right now.
Gets a few more.
Takes Dangerous to the ground. And you know what? What a credit there to Riot City, who was super pleased with themselves. 7 points picked up by that, and they held Cambridge scoreless.
An unusual ratio for this game, but good for Riot City.
Yeah,
and really nice to see everybody was doing their bit.
Everyone's enjoying the derby.
I am. Are you?
I always enjoy the derby. Why else would I spend my Saturdays in a sports hall with this lovely natural light?
And this lovely natural odour.
Major pain starting with the star once again for Riot City, but it is Baps who has picked up lead for Cambridge, and Dangerous drawing Major Pain all the way back into the apex. Nice stability there from Major Pain.
Little stumble, but got through. And he's now chasing down the Cambridge jammer. Baps is just like, yeah, whatever, I'm going.
And what I like about Major Pain is that they do block a lot. So as when they jam, they're using their blocking skills, that real stability to stay there. Fantastic job there, although no points picked up. But only 7 for Cambridge. And bear in mind that in the first half we saw several jams that were going into
35-point jams.
I think we had 2 35-point jams. There are a couple in the high 20s. Now Cambridge perhaps playing it a little bit more conservative, thinking what strategies can we try out.
And of course, if they win, they have extra games to play this weekend. So there's no point having a massive blowout and destroying yourself for the following day.
List makes quick work of the Riot City wall here, and as you can see on your screen, Riot City's wall have been broken apart once again. This is what really was the death of them in the first half. But Tattoo Terror takes advantage of the chaos through with the Star Stash on the initial. Big hit there.
List
on
going outside.
Yeah, and that was from the Riot City pivot.
And calling the jam from the outfield there. Like, you hit me like that, I'm going to go and have a sit down. I'm sure that's not the brain process that they have, but...
And that's Angel Gabriel going off with a little, and like just you might not have seen it on your screens, but just a little bit of fist pump to themselves going, yeah, I did that. Now we've got Ankle Biter lining up against Jenkill. I don't think this is a matchup we've seen before, or at least not very often.
No, not before.
Two very different styles of jammers, very great difference in height.
Both.
That said, both great with their footwork, but it is Jenkill with the lead. So pleased with herself. Ankle Biter also with this massive grin on their face. They just love jamming. And the walls we've already... Oh, my goodness.
A hop, skip, a spin through the pack from Ankle Biter there, just on the inside line. Beautiful. Just getting ahead of the Riot City Jenkill jammer.
And Dangerous coming in to break up that Riot City tripod. Beautiful and calm work there. Big hit by Melanie Pitstop on Dangerous. That will send her to the box on a forearm. Oh, lots of things happened that jam. I couldn't keep up.
The thing I keep noticing is Melanie Pitstop. That just the awareness, being in the right place, real solidity of kind of just like lowering the centre of gravity. I don't know. They just look like quite formidable.
Her knowledge of the game, like I've kind of seen them play quite a lot, and they work super hard on their strategic awareness, and you can really see it here.
Yeah,
they are
really a standout blocker for me at the moment.
Yeah. Oh my goodness me, Baps just going, do you know what? I'll have that outside line. And I'll have it in under 5 seconds. Thank you very much.
You know, the inside line's nice, but if you leave me an outside, and not quite so easy this time as they run into, who's that there?
That is Angel Gabriel, who forms again at the front. Look at this Riot City wall at the moment. It's all individual players.
But Angel Gabriel getting to the front, knocking the jammer out, getting back, making life just that little bit harder for Baps.
Baps taken to the insides. Comes up against one at the front. Again, this is what we were talking about earlier. When Riot City get together in that tripod, they're actually really strong.
Yeah.
But at the moment, they're letting the Cambridge jammers just kind of weave them apart, and then they get picked off one by one.
It's quite reactive of like, what do I need to do now? They're not playing their own game and creating that impediment. And
Star Pass now affected to Melanie Pitstop of Riot City, but no time to put it into effect.
She gave it a good go though.
And with that jam, we have got Cambridge now sitting at 293 points. 52 on the board for Riot City. And it looks like Riot City are running Major Payne as a main rotation jammer in this second half, as she takes the start against Lisp. Penalty box is empty, a nice tight pack off the line, but Lisp again picking the Riot City blockers off one by one. You can see Cambridge just covering the track and filling those gaps, plugging and reforming really cleanly in turn 2.
Everything is happening here at turn 2, yes.
And Lisp on a scoring pass. Might interest you to know that the highest scoring jams this game have both been 35 points. We've had 2 35-point jams, and they've both been by Lisp. So really strong jammer at the moment, helped out very much by her blockers.
Here you can star pass here. So
that's to Nuclear. First time receiving the star for Riot City. And you can just see Cambridge's tripod there. They're bracing off arms, but quite low down, so they're able to cover so much of the track.
Just scrapping through their list. But Riot City don't want to let her get through that, the odd knot.
And you see that reforming there. Dangerous just pushing Nuclear into this Cambridge tripod, who see there so much coverage with their limbs.
Yeah, Major Payne, having relinquished the jammer panty, is now
just take it from me.
It's trying to get close to the other jammer and just bashing into her.
Lisp held back for a little bit there, but still with a massive jam so far. 25 points on the board with 18 seconds to go.
And everybody up at turn 1.
Dangerous doing some lovely, patient one-on-one blocking there. Look at the Cambridge wall there, almost with a truck and trailer style backwards blocking.
We had a direction of gameplay issued against Major Payne, who basically decided they wanted to go back. Someone was in the way and just kind of barged through. Yes, you can't do that. Gaining a position by clockwise blocking is naughty.
And the medics are just coming over because it looks like a Riot City blocker took a late hit there, or a late fall.
Got official timeout while this is checked out and dealt with. Let's hope they are fine.
Yep, a good time to thank our sponsors once again.
Of which we have many.
We have many.
And delightful.
So this track in particular is sponsored by Just One Body, who are an amazing osteopath, and they are actually here in venue if you're here tomorrow at all. The track on the other side of the hall is sponsored by Roller Derby City, and Double Threat Skates is also here. And
I must interrupt you there and say they're only here today. So if you are at home and you have people here who you want something to be brought back to you, make sure you tell your friends to get it today.
Of course, if you aren't able to make it here this weekend, you can check out Roller Derby City and Double Threat Skates online, and Just One Body as well, and you can purchase all the things. We'd also like to thank Radar, who are our sponsor of the Jam Lines today. So you can buy Radar wheels, which are amazing.
Okay, we'll let you know what's happening on the other game at the moment. We've got tied scores, 56 all for North Wales, who are playing Wiltshire.
And I must say, that is really surprising, because at half-time at this game, when I was looking over there, North Wales had 1 point on the board, and Wiltshire had 28 at 1 point. So good on North Wales catching that up. Absolutely. Of course, we've got a Welsh team on this track as well. Riot City do hail from Wales. We've got a lot of teams in Wales. A lot of derby.
Good for them.
Yeah.
Suddenly I have nothing to say about Wales, land of my forefathers.
Wales is great. Roller derby is great.
And announcers, they're great.
We're also
Paramedics
fantastic. You know who else is great? Our officials. Our officials for this game are Serotonin, Ace Scrimmer, Cluster Schmuck, Fatal Attraction, Leviathan, Brain of Terror, Pancake, A Neck of Ice, Gaston, Restless Bitchface, Thelma Killer Skateski, Ginger Snaps, McFarlane, Tree Cruel, Saz, Cat's Eyes, Frodo Budding, Sui, Sven, and Knight of Knee. We love our officials. We literally could not run these games without them, and they give up so much of their time. So if you have an official in your life, high five them, hug them, thank them for doing what they do.
And we are back. We've had the 5 seconds warning.
And it's Electrocute who takes the inside line immediately for Cambridge.
But at the same time...
Oh, Jenkill puts the hit on Electrocute.
We had one jumper on the inside, one jumper on the outside. Cambridge got lead and call it.
Jenkill has just got the biggest grin on her face. She is the cat who got the jammer in that lot. And it's such a clean hit as well. Nice work
really
there.
Effective.
And forced the call off as well, holding Cambridge scoreless. I mean, yeah, they didn't get any points, but you know.
At this point, that's a good
At this
result.
point, that's a good
definitely.
thing.
Forcing the call off is a great strategy. Okay, we have Ankle Biter as jammer for Cambridge going up against Tattoo Terror.
Yeah, and they had a nice little high five moment on the jam line. It's all in good fun, but Ankle Biter speeds away. They are the fastest thing on 8 wheels at the moment.
Lots of work to try and get Tattoo Terror out of the pack. They were contained by a tripod.
And Ankle Biter just so good at seeing the space created for them by their blockers. Riot City reforming into a 2-wall at the back. Not able to catch Ankle Biter, but they do force them out of bounds.
Tattoo Terror has taken off the jammer helmet cover.
And it has been passed, in fact, to Squid Vicious. So Squid Vicious was a main rotation jammer in the first half, but I don't think we've seen them jam this second half in their own right. So active period. Oh, Ankle Biter with that turning toe stop work, just beautiful. Cambridge a little bit disjointed now in the pack and allows Squid Vicious to make it through on the initial, but Ankle Biter storming through, picks and calls the jam.
Of course, if you are joining in at home, do tweet at us, hashtag British Championship. No, British Champs, British Champs.
Hashtag British
yes.
Champs. Brit Champs. Brit Champs.
I've seen British Champs and Brit Champs.
Well, do both. Follow your own path.
Yeah, just put all the hashtags and pretend you're on Instagram.
I'm just
you know, if you want to predict what the score could be, we're at 3-4-1 to Cambridge, 52 to Riot City at the moment.
I'm just going to give you a quick penalty update now, having a quick check at the board. So Nuclear of Riot City is the only one who has not been issued any penalties. Everybody else is sitting on between 2 and 5. Angel Gabriel still sitting on 5 since the first half, so nothing picked up in the second.
We've had some action here where we had Riot City got lead jammer, and then the jam was signalled to the end of the jam. I don't like saying it was called dead. That sounds unpleasant. So we're sorting something out. Something has happened.
I think it was whistle confusion, which sounds like some kind of, not disease, but some kind of phenomenon, whistle confusion.
It's like fork lightning or something. Yeah, it's a whistle confusion.
Yeah, because I just saw Cluster Schmuck, who's the jam timer, coming back over from the officials table going, no, we've not started yet. And there she goes, nice clear 5 seconds, no one can mistake that. Jenkill taking on Baps. Oh, Jenkill on the outside, picks up lead for Riot City. Baps quarter of a track behind.
I was just going to say that same thing.
Great minds.
We've got Cambridge are forming their tripod, whereas Riot City, as you've said before, they seem to be kind of 4 blockers separately.
But nice big hit there by Angel Gabriel. And Riot City outscoring Cambridge in that jam 3-1.
We have 1 Cambridge blocker in the box. The rather fetching pink helmet. And Riot City have a full complement of blockers on track.
So Riot City's only leads this half have been with Jenkill. Not surprising, since she was the predominant scorer for Riot City in the first half.
Tattoo Terror, currently jamming, is trying to change that statistic and get up.
There goes that lovely fluid Cambridge tripod again. Lisp picking up lead.
We've had a skater returned to the team bench by the paramedics just out of shot, so hopefully that won't affect the team too much, but it may be that they are down a further skater.
And we've had a star pass now, and that is to, oh no, Angel Gabriel had the star, but now Tattoo Terror is sitting in the penalty box, star back on her head. So it looks like she's gone there for an illegal star pass or similar. I'll double check that with you in a second. Lisp in the meantime on a power jam for Cambridge. And you see there again that inside line sweep. So well drilled, but Lisp just takes a seat very quickly and is forced to reset. Riot City is trying to stay in that wall, but they're relying a lot on a forwards facing jammer.
Yeah.
Rather than one who's turning their back to them, and that is much easier to push for Lisp.
Empty box at the moment.
Yep, Tattoo Terror back in play, using some nice light footwork, but dangerous, unforgiving with the hit out, draws her back into turn 2.
Again, Melanie Pitstop is everywhere doing everything.
And Tattoo Terror with one to beat does make it out of the pack on the initial pass. Lisp not having it. Yep, so just confirming for you, Tattoo Terror was seated in the box for an illegal procedure, so that would have been to do with the star pass that was not effected correctly. We have just under 12 minutes, left in this game. And we've got Electrocute lining up against Jenkill.
We have an official timeout there, making sure everything is as it should be, making sure the track is safe, clear. It has that slightly raised boundary to inform everybody of what's going on.
So as well as our amazing sponsors, we also have some vendors. Now, obviously, if you're listening on the stream, you're probably not here unless you're listening to it whilst you're in the crowd.
Well, you could be on your way here, do turn up. It's not too late. There's still plenty of games.
But if you are not able to make it this weekend, but know someone who's here or would like to check out some of our amazing vendors, we do, of course, have Roller Derby City and Double Threat Skates, who are our main sponsors. But we also have Scully Bunting, Dirty Jeans, Roller Derby Soaps, Just One Body, and the Grunge Monkey. So if you do know people here and you want some merch, send them a text.
Tweet at them. So we have Riot City blockers in a 4-way brace there.
Yeah, but just not quite careful enough with their arms, so forced to break apart. Oh, goodness me. Electrocute headed to the box for blocking with the head. That's not something we've seen so far this game.
Well, it's something we hope never to see because it is unsafe for both the initiator and the recipient.
So now Jenkill on a power jam for Riot City.
Has already been scoring many points for Riot City. We'll score them a few more if she has her way.
And Riot City coming back to run this kind of disruption and do push Cambridge together quite nicely. But look at that reformation from Cambridge. It is so
smooth,
so well communicated. And I think that's been the problem with Riot City's blockers is that they're almost afraid to come back and aggressively attack that formation because it reforms so quickly. I don't know what they're thinking. Heck, I'm just the announcer. In the meantime, whilst I've been talking nonsense, Electrocute is back on track, picks up a 4-point scoring pass. Jenkill has taken the start off. So we're running a 2-minute jam right now. And Jenkill looks pretty beat at the moment, pretty tired.
Cambridge reforming at the front there. All 4 blockers available.
Jenkill is keeping going. Pivot coming back from the penalty box. That is Squid Vicious. Oh, nice hit there. Well, illegal hit, but, has its effect from Laura Facepalmer of Riot City, who is headed off to the box. Squid Vicious, jammer of the moment. Oh,
Ouch.
attempts the apex jump, but it looks like she took a bit of a knock to her head.
Like the wheels just went from beneath her as she tried to land, and
Yeah.
it seemed like she hit the floor with everything, so I hope she's okay.
Just bringing you another Jammer statistic update, and you won't be surprised to hear this if you've been watching the game closely. Lisp, who is one of Cambridge's Jammers, has had 4 jams this half. She's had 4 leads, and in those 4 jams, she scored 82 points. That seems excessive, but I mean, just testament not only to her incredible skill as a jammer, but also to the blockers on her team.
I think we have a point difference of 319, if my maths is correct, which I think might be too big for them to pull back at this point.
Maybe.
I don't want to put a cap on anybody or restrict who they are, but I'm feeling it would take something miraculous.
And don't forget, this game is one of the 4 quarterfinals going on today in Tier 3. So Newcastle played Hull earlier on this track, the Just One Body track, and Hull took a nail-biting win. I believe that Nottingham took the win against Granite City earlier on the Roller Derby City track, and currently North Wales and Wiltshire are in half-time with a 7-point differential in favour of Wiltshire.
Very close indeed.
Ankle Biter now jamming for Cambridge Rollerbillies against Tattoo Terror. Tattoo Terror in a grinding, just really strong 3-wall at the back of the pack, now formed into a 2-wall. Big hit out on Ankle Biter, but resets, picks up, well, maintains lead. I think their lead had already been called, and pops around to start a scoring pass. And just weaves from in to out. Blockers holding Riot City to the out of the track.
Did we see a back block issued there?
And a back block being issued to a Riot City blocker.
Who'd just come back on track, went straight into some action.
Angel Gabriel in the meantime, as Pivot has received the star for Riot City. Ankle Biter chats with their bench, goes, nah, do you know what, I'll call it.
I think I should be checking out Just One Body and seeing if they would like to manipulate my muscles.
Just One Body are one of our sponsors. They are the sponsor of this track. And we do encourage you to check them out if you've got a few minutes. Baps now facing off against Major Pain. It feels like a while since either of these guys have been on track, but time is warped for me when roller derby's happening. But it's Major Pain with the lead for Riot City. Highly unusual against Baps.
Baps powering through to narrow the gap between the 2 jammers.
And Riot City's wall, again, not quite stable enough at the back. They do reform there into a 2. There's a lot of chaos going on track right now.
Baps for Cambridge still held in the pack as the Riot City jammer has come up on the next scoring pass. So they're both on scoring passes.
Riot City now getting their reforming on. But as you can see, they do rely a lot on their chest blocking, which is a weaker point, especially if you've got a strong jammer like Baps against you.
Major Pain has removed the helmet cover, looks a little bit dispirited.
Surprised she's removed the helmet cover, given that she did have lead status. She now, of course, has lost that.
There's probably a reason for it.
It's probably because she's not used to being lead in this game and maybe just had a momentary lapse.
Yeah, it looked like she tried to hand it off to a non-pivot blocker there, which obviously would be very, very naughty.
But does, with some, not a huge amount of speed, does make it through there. Pops the cover back on.
Still earning points.
She can't, and she's trying to call it, but realises she can't.
She only got 3 points, I think, because of having removed the helmet cover. She was an inactive jammer and was unable to earn points at that point. I've said the word point too many times.
And
what's the point of this? Right.
Yeah, she looks really dispirited at the moment.
Yeah.
And actually resets because she'd taken the cover off again. and therefore didn't score the points. So now he's just pushing away.
It's suggesting there may be a lack of jammer experience there. She's doing a good job of what she knows, but you need in those moments.
Nice bit of camaraderie there from Cambridge, who all just kind of gave her a bit of a pat on the back as she headed off track.
But when sometimes you need to drill these things, so it's second instinct there.
Yeah.
You don't have to think about what to do when things are not going quite how you would hope.
9 points scored in that last jam by Riot City though, so a grinding jam, but hey, 9 points, really, really impressive and outscoring Cambridge. We've got Lisp now up against Jenkill, and Lisp with the lead.
Jenkill resetting and fighting through past the Cambridge blockers, who seem to say, oh, okay, you can go.
Yeah, Jenkill still nice and consistent. Not chasing down with a huge amount of speed, but Lisp does call the jam nonetheless and puts Cambridge 1 point away from 400. I mean, that is a big score.
Is that Major Payne who's being consulted with there, or have I mistaken? Yeah, so paramedics earning their money today. Nothing serious, we hope, but just checking in with everybody and making sure that everybody is as safe and healthy as possible.
We have just over 4 minutes to go in this game. Electrocute looking that inside line. She's been very dominant there so far today. Riot City getting back in front of her, but in full-on formation. And she does make it through. She's just so quick at that lateral footwork. In the meantime, Tattoo Terror wearing the star makes it out on the initial for Riot City.
I don't mean to be boring, but again, it was Melanie Pitstop being really active, getting everywhere, getting in the way of the Cambridge jammer and then reforming.
Just go marry Melanie Pitstop. I mean, she is fantastic, to be fair.
It's just professional admiration.
So 403 points now on the board for Cambridge Rollerbillies. And Jenkill coming back to the line after just one jam off. Ankle Biter will be her opponent.
There's an official timeout here. I wonder why. And we see lots of referees coming out of the officials' room ready for the next game. Of course, they work incredibly hard. Several crews, but they're on a lot. They barely seem to rest. Of course, without them, we would have nothing to talk about.
Speaking of the next game, we are going to have at 2 o'clock on this track, or just after 2, we will have the Tier 3 men's semi-final, which will be Bristol versus Kent. Excuse me. And after that, the final game of the day on this track, just after 4, will be another Tier 3 men's semi-final, which will be Dorset versus North Wales. On the other track, after North Wales versus Wiltshire has finished, we will have what is personally going to be the game I'm looking most forward to today, which is Rebellion versus Windsor. That's the Tier 2 women's semi-final. And following that, it will be London, that's Battersea Power, their C team, versus Norfolk. And I've seen them play against each other before.
Was it good?
Well, it was at the start of last season when Battersea had quite a few changes. And Norfolk did take the win quite convincingly, but Battersea have won every game in their division this season.
London have this sneaky way of getting really good at things and really
technical
reading
term
what
that
they need to do. Yeah. But they're just getting better.
So my point is that after this game has finished, you very much want to stay with us on the stream all day today, get some delivery in, get some takeaway, get some comfy shoes, well, not even shoes, stay inside, comfy pyjamas on, and settle in for a cracking day of roller derby.
Oh, that sounds nice. Can I put my comfy shoes on?
No. Okay. Announcers can't wear comfy shoes. It's forbidden.
I'll stay here and think about statistics instead.
Hey, that's my dream. So I'm not sure what we're having the timeout for, but then again, I'm not a ref. Don't have their wisdom.
We're definitely seeing some taping of things that need to be taped.
Taping of
I
things.
can see head ref McFarlane speaking to one of the tournament head referees, Seth Ref over there.
It looks like it's tape on the infield, which is the issue at the moment. There's like little bits that are going on. But in the meantime, on the jam line, everyone's just having a bit of a chat, bit of a dance. And here we go. 3.5 minutes left to play. Jenkill versus Ankle Biter. Full complement of blockers on the track. Full crew of referees.
And several announcers.
What more could you want?
Comfy shoes.
And Jenkill. Simultaneous announcing for your pleasure.
All we care about right now is Jenkill, who is battling the Cambridge blockers. She's making some progress, though, breaking up their braces, getting through them. They're having to go back to maintain the pack there.
In the meantime, Ankle Biter, of course, with lead status for Cambridge, attempts the apex jump. Oh, Jenkill off to the box on a forearm.
No, she's not.
No, the penalty is rescinded.
But she's not lead, that's what we're seeing. Okay.
Well, that was confusing for all of us.
Something happened there. Did somebody get forearms there? Maybe it wasn't Jenkill.
Well, we have Dangerous sitting in the box for Cambridge, and I think that's Angel Gabriel. We have Angel Gabriel sitting in the box, but that is for a direction penalty, so she is now on 6.
So I think the confusion there, that came from thinking it was a jammer referee signalling it, but not on the jammer. So
right, there we go.
All clear and fine.
What would I do without you? Now we have Tattooed Terror up against... Is that Lisp? It's not Lisp, it's Baps. Do forgive me. It's been a long morning.
Baps or Lisp or
Look at this great wall formation by Riot City. This is quite a long time for Baps to be held back. Kraken reforming. It does not end well for Riot City with Baps picking up lead, but it took nearly 30 seconds.
But we do have number 49 Pepi Nefrine, who has gone to the box for Cambridge. That would be out of play, I believe.
Baps having a much easier time in that last scoring pass, picking up the full 5, but Tattooed Terror out of the pack, about a quarter of a track behind on her initial. Baps flies through.
Sideways, though.
Yeah, calls it off from the ground.
Not ideal, but...
Looks like she's a wee bit winded there. Jam not whistled for injury, she did call it herself. But the medic's just coming over to check her out anyway.
And referee McFarlane signals for an official timeout. So obviously, skater safety is the priority.
We have just over a minute left to play in this game.
Everything's still to play for.
Well, you say that, but I think pride at the moment is the thing to play for. To be fair, I think Riot City have settled it down, have gone back to basics a lot more in this second half. They've had a few lead jams. They've held Cambridge to much shorter jams, much lower scoring jams.
Very much so. You can see them playing together more as a team. They know what they want to do, and they're doing it better.
The highest jam this half has been 30 points. We did have 2 35-point jams in the first half, but also at the end of the first half, it was kind of in the 300-point zone. So again, they've scored less in the first half. Lisp, of course, I mean, I will be astonished if Lisp does not get one of the player awards. Not only did she score the 2 35-point jams in the first half, but she also scored the highest jam at the second half with 30 points.
We've got a differential of 343 points.
Look at you with your maths.
My maths is correct. I could just be making it up and everybody's impressed. So,
I mean, who at home is really going to get out a calculator and prove you wrong? If you're sitting at home watching roller derby on a Saturday, then... I mean, if you want to calculate the stats, please do. Just going to give you a quick update on the score on the other track, which is a super tight game, total opposite of this one at the moment. It is 85-80, and actually it looks like we've seen a lead change there in the last few jams to North Wales. Wiltshire were leading, and now North Wales is out in front.
So, although that's exciting, we're seeing. I'd rather be watching the resurgence of Riot City's blocking formation myself. So.
I look forward to it in the last jam. At the moment, we've got obviously the medics just taking care of things on track. Everything is okay, but it looks like Baps is taking her skates off. And
she's getting to her feet, so that's positive, but seems very... I'm thinking maybe head, neck injury. We're a bit sore up there, so we're taking care.
I mean, what a way to go out, because that would have been her last jam with only a minute left, a minute and 7 seconds left to play. But again, we are so grateful to our medics who literally do keep us rolling.
And our track rats, we should never forget those. During that little timeout, they seem to have covered everything with tape.
And why not? Just cover the whole place with tape and just leave the boundaries untaped. That would be fine.
I always thought that like a kind of a pit instead of a barrier tape would be nice. So
I mean,
if you try to cut, you fall in the pit.
I mean, that's called bank track, and but
I've seen that.
I had to go on bank track at Rollercon this year, and it was terrifying.
I found it terrifying just to watch it. So.
Speaking of terrifying, Electrocute, not so cute after all, she's pretty vicious, is on the jam line for Cambridge, and she's up against Jenkill.
Electrocution is quite terrifying and something to be avoided, so, you know, we don't just commentate on roller derby, we also give you helpful tips to keep you alive.
And with that, timeout comes to an end. This is likely, I'm not saying definite, because things might happen. This
don't
might...
Say it.
I'm going to say it. I'm a risk taker. This might be the last jam of this game. It might not be. One of those two things will happen. Oh, it's Jenkill picking up lead. Oh, and she is nice and calm. She's not got that glee in her eyes that she had earlier, but she has got a determination and a steely glare. Blockers speeding up. Riot City at the back. Cambridge in full force at the front. Jenkill with one to beat. Just edged out by a wheel, forced to reset around Hermaphrodite and Smacktivist.
Inadvertently, Jenkill became quite a useful blocker in that position then.
Electrocute not made it out on... Oh no, has made it out on her initial.
Has, yes.
But being held back.
Of course, Jenkill is the only jammer who has got lead for Riot City in this period.
Angel Gabriel has just taken a seat, and if I'm right, that is her 7th penalty, and she will now not be able to come back into play.
In the next jam that you don't think will happen.
But period clock has expired. We are on jam time only with 50 seconds left. Electrocute on a 4-point scoring pass. Outscoring Jenkill at the moment, who has put 4 on the board.
Again, the Riot City have several blockers on track, but they are individuals, they are loose. Little bit of trying to cooperate here, but it's too little too late, unfortunately.
And a slow call off there for Jenkill, who does put 8 points on the board in that final jam to Electrocute 13. The unofficial score now, 16 from Electrocute there. So the unofficial score being displayed now is 429 to 78. What a massive show there from the Cambridge Rollerbillies.
Do you think there might be any points hiding in referees' pockets or anything? Or?
Well, it looks like we're just having a quick chat with the officials table. There'll be the normal clarifications before the final score is displayed. And on your screen there, you can just see the penalty updates. Although the tallies aren't being calculated, you can count them yourselves, dear viewers. And as you can see there, a nice clean game from Nuclear on the Riot City side, but otherwise everyone taking a trip to the penalty box. A comparatively much cleaner game by Cambridge, who really just showed nice, calm, controlled coverage of the track there. And now we have the final score confirmed. It is indeed 429 to 78, which means that Cambridge will advance to the Tier 3 Women's semi-final. Woo, what a game, Mimey.
And who do we think? So they will be playing either North Wales or Wiltshire, is that correct?
I'm not sure, but we will, if you stay with us on the stream tomorrow, you will be able to see those in the morning. We are going to leave you now on this track so that you can go and look at the 1 point game, which is currently going down with North Wales and Wiltshire 98 to 97. Switch your stream.